June 1984, the Prime Minister of India, Indira Gandhi, spoke on All India Radio. She appealed to all sections of Punjab to not shed blood, but hatred. Some said it was a dishonest call. An assault was about to take place in Amritsar. Troops and artillery had reached the Golden Temple with one purpose: flush out Khalistani separatists holed up in sight. This included their leader, Jarnail Singh Bhindranwale, a man who had taken up arms against India's sovereignty. For the next 72 hours, there was bloodshed. More than 400 lives were lost. This was Operation Blue Star, a miscalculation. It neither ended terrorism nor Khalistani separatism, and definitely not the politics of religion. What it did was leave an indelible mark on the memories of Sikhs in India and abroad, a mark which continues to be exploited to this day.
Canada has rejected a referendum by a US-based Khalistani secessionist group saying that it respects India's sovereignty and territorial integrity. The country snubbed the Punjab 2020 referendum, which seeks a separate homeland for Indian Sikhs. The controversial referendum, which is being organized by a group called Sikhs for Justice, is scheduled for November. In an exclusive reply to Beyond World is One, the Canadian Foreign Ministry said, and I quote, "The Canada-India bilateral relationship is a priority, and Canada respects the sovereignty, unity and territorial integrity of India." The decision comes as a major diplomatic win for New Delhi. Welcoming the move, the Indian ambassador to Canada, Ajay Bisaria, told Beyond that Ottawa continues to show sensitivity to Indian security concerns. Bisaria added that Canada is a strategic partner for India and that New Delhi will, and I quote, "continue to engage closely with Canadian agencies on a range of bilateral security issues." India has requested Canada to check anti-India activities and also prescribe individuals and entities declared illegal in India. Canada has the largest Sikh population outside of India.
Now for another threat that India is facing, separatist groups. The Khalistan movement is being revived overseas. The latest instance comes from the United States of America, and this time sanctioned groups are not driving the campaign. It's American lawmakers. And this happened last week. A picture of a citation is going viral. It is believed to be from the General Assembly of Connecticut. It recognizes 29th April as the anniversary of the Declaration of Sikh Independence. And I have a copy. This is what the citation says. "The Connecticut General Assembly offers its sincerest congratulations to the World Sikh Parliament in recognition of the 36th anniversary of the Declaration of Sikh Independence. We join with you, your friends and your family in commemorating the historic resolution passed on April 29th, 1986. The citation was followed by an event. A group of Sikhs gathered in Norwich. It's a city in Connecticut. They raised a flag outside the city hall. And you don't need me to tell you this. These are pro-Khalistan supporters, and they're being backed by the state of Connecticut. American lawmakers like to lecture India about human rights and the state of minorities. But how do they justify something like this? An American state backing separatists. And that's not all. They're openly endorsing the breaking up of the state of Punjab from India. And who's behind this? The World Sikh Parliament. It's a Khalistani organization. Such groups are gaining ground in the US. In 2021, the Hudson Institute published a report, and it revealed some shocking details. There are at least 55 Kashmiri and Khalistani groups operating in the US, and it is possible, said the report, that they have links to Pakistan. They could be getting funding, support, even military training from the Pakistani establishment. And these possible links are yet to be confirmed. This is the Hudson Institute report. But the threat is obvious. Pro-Khalistani groups are operating in the US, but American authorities have been reluctant to investigate them. These groups operate in the open. They've held events in the past too. In 2020, they held a demonstration in New York. In 2019, these groups tried to ride on the momentum generated by the Black Lives Matter movement. They appropriated imagery and slogans of that protest and launched their own campaign. And these groups work in tandem with each other. They have a common modus operandi. They organize joint events. They share resources like lawyers, donors, accountants. If the US government wants, it can easily take this network of separatists down. But America so far has shown no willingness to go after such anti-India groups. The result is this: the Khalistan separatists have been given a free run. And it's not like the US is unaware about this threat. Khalistani separatists have tried to use American soil to launch attacks in the past. In the 1990s, federal agents in the US caught Bhajan Singh Binder. He was a pro-Khalistani separatist. What was he doing in the US? Trying to procure shoulder-fired missiles and assault weapons. And he was doing this for the Free Khalistan movement. The separatists are now staging a comeback, and American authorities choose to ignore them, even support them in some cases. India has launched a diplomatic campaign. The Indian consulate in New York has issued a statement. It has condemned what happened in Connecticut and said that this is an attempt by some mischievous elements to use the name of the assembly for their nefarious purposes. These vested interests seek to divide